Greetings, friends, and today I have a very special message of encouragement and positivity. But in particular, I just want to give a shout out to all of my friends out there that are teachers. And Annie and I, we both spent our lifetime in education. We combined, we have over 70 years of being educators, and when you combine that with the time we spent in classrooms as students ourselves, it's well over a century, and so we have great compassion for teachers and all the great hard work that they're doing out there. And I know that during these times when so many of these kids are home now, hundreds of thousands of kids are home with their parents, and the teachers are trying to get lessons to them online. And primarily what you're hearing from a lot of parents out there is this message is they're saying, whatever you are paying these teachers, it's not enough, because after spending 5 days a week with my child in one room, I know that you deserve every penny you get. So that's the message that I get from parents who are doing a lot of the homeschooling right now. But the first week of April was National Paraprofessional Appreciation Week, and we didn't get a chance to thank all those paraprofessionals. And the first week in May is the National Teacher Appreciation Week. And I've worked with over 200 school districts, and I know that what they do is very special, and I know that what they do is greatly appreciated. And I got a quick clip out there to talk a little bit about love and care.
You know, everything that's good in our lives has come about as a result of love. When you think about just being a lovable person and being a lovable human being. And, Leo Buscaglia said, the opposite of love is not hate. It is apathy. And I love that quote because, you know what? People don't just wake up one morning and they just start hating other people. They don't just wake up one morning and just start to hate their spouse or family members or whatever, but they become apathetic. The 3 easiest words in the English language to say are, I don't care. And if you ever find yourself doing that, whether it's in regard to your family, whether it's in regard to your job, whether it's in regard to anything in your life, you say, I don't care. That's when you lose all your power. That's when you lose every ounce of power that you have in your life. And to love and to be loved, quite often, we don't even know the kind of influence that we have on people just by being the person that we're supposed to be at the right time. And, the great thing about kindness and compassion and love is that you can make an abundance of it from nothing. An abundance. You can give it all away and still have just as much. You can be patient, loving, kind with people and give it all away. And everything we do, we're teaching children how to handle the next generation's worth of problems.
That clip was from a group of educators up in Saugerties a couple of years ago in upstate New York. And like so many of them, and not unlike my wife, I think that there's a lot of people out there that really get it, that education is all about love, it's all about love. It needs to be engaging and it needs to be exciting, but it's not going to be anything if you don't have the human dimension that goes along with that. And that was never more apparent to me as my wife was also a kindergarten teacher for many years, and I was with her at the high school. And as she's walking down the hallway, a kid who's a senior in high school screaming at the top of their lungs all the way to the other end of the hallway saying, Miss Birchak, I love you. And this is a student that she had more than 10, 12 years ago. And I know why that magic occurred in her life. As my wife was an administrator and the director of special education in her latter years, she always had this plaque, and it was a puzzle plaque, and it was right behind her desk, and she would look at it every day because that was her philosophy for children. And it was a quote from Rita Pearson, and it goes like this. It says, every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best they can possibly be. And I love that. And for for all the educators that are out there today, I just want to say thanks for being that champion in kids' lives. And I do appreciate everything you do. And the last quote I'm going to give you is from Lee Iacocca, because this is what I give to teachers all the time. It's one of my favorite quotes to give teachers. And Lee Iacocca really summed it up well. As many of you know, he was not in the business of education, but rather he was the CEO for Chrysler many years ago. But this is what he said about teachers. He said, in a completely rational society, the best of us would be teachers, and the rest of us would have to settle for something less. Because passing civilization along from one generation to the next ought to be the highest honor and the highest responsibility anyone could have. And I love that quote. What a responsibility we have just to be that person who believes in that power of love. And that quote that I just had from that clip with the teachers is that the last thing that you find in so many people that are educators is those people saying, I don't care. These are people who care every single day. And I've seen literally thousands of them over the years. And so for that, I just want to say today, thanks for being a champion.